Interesting. Good morning, Maurice. Can you hear me? No.
I can hear you loud and clear. Good morning. Can you hear me?
Hello, can you hear me? Oh, well, that's good. I can't hear you. Thank you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you both if that's of any help, Maurice. And
Well, that's good. That eliminates one issue.
yeah, not sure I was trying to be helpful. Hopefully that's helpful.
That was definitely helpful.
All right, good morning. It's 9:30, Liz. We can get started.
Thank you. Good morning. My name is Liz Kukla. I'm the Secretary of the Board of Zoning Appeals, and I'm going to read the preamble for you this morning, this Monday, January 9th, 2023. In compliance with notification requirements of the city's open meeting law and section 101.021 of the codified ordinances of Cleveland, Ohio, 1976, notice of this meeting has been publicly posted. All boards and commissions under the purview of the City Planning Department conducts its meetings according to Robert's Rules of Order. Actions during the meeting will be taken by voice vote. Abstentions from any vote due to a conflict of interest should be stated for the record prior to the taking of any vote. In order to ensure that everyone participating in the meeting have the opportunity to be heard, we ask that you use the raise hand feature before asking a question or making a comment. The raise hand feature can be found on the participants panel on the desktop and mobile version and activated by clicking the hand icon. Please wait for the chair or facilitator to recognize you and be sure to select unmute and announce yourself before you speak. When finished speaking, please lower your hand by clicking on the raise hand icon again and mute your microphone. We will also be utilizing the chat feature to communicate with participants. The chat feature can be activated by clicking the chat button located on the bottom of the WebEx screen. Please note that call-in users can unmute by using *6. Next screen, Maurice.
It's already on the next screen. Must be a delay.
All meeting activities being recorded via the WebEx platform. These proceedings are also being live streamed via YouTube for public view. We provided a link to the meeting for those who wish to speak on a particular case via our website and email. All requests to speak on a particular matter have been considered. We have also received emails from those who have provided written comment on a particular matter. Back to you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Can you go ahead and call the roll, please?
Yes. Ms. Holzer?
Present.
Ms. Brown?
Present.
Ms. Faith?
Present.
Ms. Roca? Ms. Britt?
Here.
Madam Chair, we have a quorum with 4.
All right, thank you. If Ms. Roker is not joining today, just to let everyone know, that means we have 4 members. So if you don't get 3 to 1, then the vote will go nowhere. So you are allowed to ask for a postponement at the time we call your case. All right, postponements.
Yes, Madam Chair, thank you. These are posted on the screen before you. Calendar number 22-226 regarding 4750 Hinckley Avenue. Christina McDermott, owner, proposed to erect a 2,776 square foot storage structure for existing greenhouse warehouse use in a 1-family residential district. Madam Chair, we have received a request from the councilwoman for a postponement.
Okay.
And the
And what's the date do we have for that?
So, Madam Chair, the councilwoman did request 2 weeks, but we have received several phone calls of concern about this case. So we may want to give them a little more time. And that would mean February 6th, February 13th, or the 27th.
Put them on the 13th.
All right. February 13th, calendar number 22-226 regarding 4750 Hinckley has been postponed to February 13th. Madam Chair, I do see that the attorney is on line, Mr. Mark Shearer. I'm not sure if he wanted to make any comments.
Thank you. I don't have any objection to the postponement. Just wanted to monitor, which I'm glad I did, so we can receive the date and we know when we need to appear again. So thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Next case that we're postponing this morning is calendar number 22-228 regarding 4015 Gifford Avenue. Sarah Sova proposing to establish use as a residential facility in a C1 local retail business district. Councilman Harsh has requested a postponement in this case to allow for more time for review and to meet with the appellant. We could put them on as well as February 13th or February 6th.
We'll put them on the 6th.
We also have January 30th available, but I'm not sure if that gives them time.
I don't think so.
February 6th. Okay, calendar number 22-228 regarding 4015 Gifford Avenue has been postponed to February 6th. If you received a paper letter in the mail, you will receive another paper copy letter in the mail. And again, there will be no testimony taken on these cases this morning. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Do we have any council people online, Maurice?
Yes, Madam Chair. It looks like we have Councilwoman Stephanie House. So I have advanced to her case.
Oh, great.
Oh, is that for me
Okay,
to
go
talk?
ahead.
Okay. Good morning.
Oh, no, not yet, Miss. Not yet, Councilwoman. Hold on one
Okay.
sec.
All right. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. All right, go ahead and read it in, Miss Holzer.
All right, good morning, everyone. This is calendar number 22-230. This is at 6522-6524 St. Clair Avenue. CCC3 Corp. proposes to establish a residential facility for female emancipated youth ages 17 to 23 in a C1 residence industry district. The owner appeals for relief from the strict application of the Cleveland Codified Ordinances as stated in the agenda and the public record, of which there are 2. And with that, I will hand it over to Ms. Brown for the oath.
Thank you. Good morning. I'm swearing in all who are present for this case. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth? Please raise your hand, reply, I do. State your name and your address, please. Councilwoman House, you can swear in now.
I'm unmuting myself and trying to put the video. Okay. I do. This is
State your name and address.
Councilwoman Stephanie House, 1804 East 93rd Street, Cleveland, Ohio, 44106.
Thank you, ma'am. And the appellant?
I do see a Michelle with her hands raised, but she is muted. Maybe, is that the appellant?
Oh, no. Hi, Michelle Davis from St. Clair Superior, 6413 St. Clair. I do.
Thank you.
Sharice Foster from 6524 St. Clair, and I do.
Okay, anyone else for this case?
It's Jaquela Lattimore, 19606 Pawnee, Cleveland, Ohio, 44119, and I do.
Thank you, ma'am. Madam Chair.
Thank you. History of the property, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This property was originally zoned general retail in 1929. In 2006, it was changed to the current zoning residence industry. In our records administration office, we found that in 1890, a permit was issued to erect a new dwelling. And 1893, a permit was issued to make repairs to a saloon and tenement building. And then, Madam Chair, in 1945, a permit was issued to make changes to a storefront. In 1964, a permit was issued to erect a double-face illuminated sign. In the more recent history, Madam Chair, we see that in, sorry, make sure I have this in order. In 2009, a board-up fee was issued to the property. And then in 2011, again, a permit was issued to board a side door and 2 rear windows. And then in 2012, a permit was applied for, a certificate of occupancy was issued to allow for the use of a beauty salon at the site. And Madam Chair, I believe that's all that we have that is relevant. Thank you.
Thank you. Legal standard, please.
Madam Chair, members of the board, appellant is requesting an area variance from the minimum distance requirements of the zoning code To obtain the area variance, appellant must prove that denying the request will create a practical difficulty not generally shared by other land or buildings in the same district, will deprive the appellant of substantial property rights, and that granting the variance will not be contrary to the purpose and intent of the zoning code.
Thank you. Okay, who will be the spokesperson for this case?
I am Sheree.
I'm sorry, who?
Me.
You were breaking up.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, now I can. And what's your name again?
Fountain.
Okay, Ms. Fountain, go ahead.
Okay, so I am the owner of this building. I am also the owner of the Claire. Above.
You're going in and out again, ma'am.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, very well.
Okay, I was saying that I am the owner of the building and of the salon. I also, with the salon, is where the training facility will be for the emancipated youth. I have with me my trainer, Sharice Foster, and I also have my partner here on here. Her name is Jaquela Lattimore. She is a social worker, and she will also oversee the group home for the emancipated youth. When they pulled up the zoning, I emailed you guys that the zoning part barely touched my building, but the lady that required the zoning appeal, she put it in anyway, stating that it touched my driveway. So that is the reason why we're here today. I emailed you guys an actual picture of the part going through my driveway that barely touches my building as far as 1,000 feet zoning. Did you receive that?
I'm not sure what you're speaking about. Liz, can you give some clarification on this?
That's the training that we will offer the young ladies.
Yeah, hold on one second.
That's it. Well, no, go back.
Can someone clarify for me what she means by 1,000 feet from the driveway?
Go back a picture.
Madam Chair, we're talking about the distance from another such use.
Okay, so there is another residential facility near.
Within 1,000 feet, and the address is 1118 East 63rd Street.
Okay, great, thank you. That's what I need to clarify. Okay, all right, go ahead, Ms. Fountain.
So in present, there are no actual emancipated youth facilities in the Cleveland area. So the need for this particular group home is needed. There are exactly 23,000 youths emancipating out of foster care. And once they leave their, once they age out of foster care, they're typically abandoned and they're on the streets to fend for themselves. So where I come in at is bringing in the youths so they'll have some security, somewhere to live. We'll teach them daily living activities. And at the salon, where they'll come down to train, the girls that we want, we're targeting them specifically that's interested in the beauty industry. At our training facility, they will actually leave our schooling and receive a license. That way they can get on their feet and move on to their next part of their life. We also will have transportation for them, those that aren't interested in the training program, and they will be able to get to the next job or wherever they choose that they will work at. We consist of having everything that they need. They don't have to come with anything. We help them get all the stuff that they need from grants to help them get new clothes. They'll have bedding. There's a washer and dryer facility. They don't have to go out to do linen. We'll help them with food. We also would teach them financial literacy so they can understand how to pay bills, how to actually live a day-to-day life that they're not being taught being in a foster care or aging out of the program. And a lot of them are actually ending up in homeless shelters. So we want to kind of save as many as we can from ending up on the street and ending up homeless. So that's part of the program. They can receive 2 different licenses from going through our actual group home program.
Okay, and will there be, is there living arrangements here as well? Or is this just a day program?
No, they actually get to live there.
Okay.
They have their own rooms, and there will be a guardian on site 24 hours. So they're not just living there by themselves. We actually will have an adult staying there with them.
Okay, thank you.
And then
Ms.
also one more thing, if there's a young lady that may have an infant or a child, she's welcome as well. There's one big room that will house a young lady if she has a child with her. So she won't be eliminated as well.
Okay, Ms. Latimer, did you want to add anything?
Just the part as they will also have a resume building class there, and they will also receive group therapy once a week.
Okay, now I'm assuming it's 24/7 because they're living there. What the hours of the actual training, will that be, what hours of the day will that be?
That
That
will
would be.
consist,
Oh, go ahead, Shereen.
that will be from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Ms. Davis from the CDC, you want to chime in?
Yeah, thanks, everyone. We love this project. We're in full support. I don't know if you guys need any other information for us, but that's it.
All right, thank you. Okay, Councilwoman.
Yes, good morning. Yeah, I was just calling in to just offer my support for the project. Beyond this, Ms. Fountain, she has been a really awesome asset to our Ward 7 community. Young people who really need, some continuing love and support and direction. I truly believe that it will be a value to our community, and just wanted to come on to show my support.
Okay.
This sounds like a fantastic program, something that I think we really need in the city of Cleveland. The location here is absolutely fine. I think, it's not in the middle of a residential neighborhood. It's on a commercial corridor, so there's no issues there. So we would totally recommend support for this. It's a good project.
Thank you. Okay, I'll open it up for the board for.
They've aged out of foster care, so I'm assuming they're 18. But what's the cap on the age that they'll be able to stay there?
The cap is 23, and they are considered aged out, but they're considered aged out at 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great, thank you.
Madam
Okay.
Chair, I just would like to ask if you have spoken to your neighbor, which looks like a child care center, about the proposed use and training and the opportunity that you plan to offer to the young women.
Yes. Other group homes, and she was the one actually guiding me. Women that bring.
I didn't hear you anymore.
Ma'am, you're fading out on us again.
Yeah, we're losing you again.
I actually spoken with Sharon that owns the daycare, and she was the one guiding me through this process as well, because she has some of the ladies that have aged out of foster care that bring her kids to her actual daycare that had been out on the streets. So yes, she's been supporting me this entire process. Yes.
That's wonderful to hear. Thank you.
And did you mention what your capacity is? How many young women are going to be able to reside there?
We will actually have only 5 women, possible 6 if it's a child, if one of the young ladies have a child.
Okay, great, thank you.
The one thing I did want to mention to you, guys on here, the bridge program, I don't know if you're familiar. We also will be partnering with the bridge program, because they actually, the youths go through their entire study. So they will actually be referring some of the, young adults to us. Thank you. Any further questions from the board?
Hearing none, I'll proceed with the motion, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, before we start that, hi, Board Member Roca, sorry I was late. I am battling a nasty cold today. Do I need to be marked as present since I joined a little late before I vote?
Well, you are present now since you've spoken, so we have you on record. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right, moving on. With regard to calendar number 22-230, we've heard testimony that there will be, this is a 24-hour facility. It will have residential and training capacity. There will be a staff on site 24 hours. Meals will be included. Laundry facilities are on site. The capacity is for 5 women and the potential of 6 individuals if one of the young women has a child. And with that information, I move that we go ahead and approve the variances for this case.
Thank you. Can I have a second, please?
Member Brown, I second.
Ms. Brown with the second. Go ahead, call the roll.
Ms. Holzer,
Yes.
Ms. Roca,
Yes.
Ms. Brown,
Yes.
Was that me?
yes, I'm sorry,
Okay, yeah, yes.
Ms. Britt.
Yes.
Calendar number 22-230 is granted. It'll be ratified when we meet again on January 23rd. After that, we will send the appellants a letter. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Good luck. Sounds like a great program.
Yeah.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
thank you. Good luck.
And thanks to Councilman House for being present with us today.
You're welcome, everybody. Have a blessed day. Thank you.
You as well.
Thank you.
All right, next case.
Our next case is calendar number 22-224. This is at 522 East 105th Street. Evergreen Cooperative Laundry, Inc. owner proposes to erect a 5,140 square foot warehouse addition for a laundry in a C1 multifamily residential district. The owner appeals for relief from the strict application of the Cleveland Codified Ordinances as stated in the agenda and the public record, of which there is one. And with that, I will hand it over to Ms. Brown for the oath.
Thank you. I'm swearing in all who are present for this case. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth? Please raise your hand, reply I do, state your name and your address, please.
I do. Leon Sampat, 22082 Lorraine Road, Fairview Park, Ohio.
Sean Wilson, I do. I am counsel for Gary Lipinski, Glenville Enterprises. His property is 540 East 105th Street. My address is 600 East Granger Road, Suite 200, Cleveland, Ohio, 44131.
Anyone else? Madam Chair.
Thank you. History of the property, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair, we have a rich history on this property. It was originally zoned general retail and multifamily in 1929. In 1966, it was changed to local retail business. We found in our Records Administration Office that in 1942, a permit was issued for use of part of the building for assembling die-cast machines. And on February 6, 1964, a permit was issued for alterations to that use. And then we have many calendar number variances on this case. In calendar number 42-111, this board granted a variance for permission to use for a machine shop and part of the building in question, which has the frontage on Elk Avenue. In calendar 42-300, the board granted permission to use for assembling die cast machinery. In calendar 44-239, this board granted an appeal for permission to use for a machine shop. In calendar 44-33, permission was granted to establish use for mixing of paint in part of the building. In calendar number 46-572, a variance was granted for permission to use, again, as for a machine shop in part of the building. And calendar 48, a variance was granted. That case was withdrawn. In calendar 54-696, a variance was granted for permission to assemble and sell storm doors on site. And in calendar 63-815, this board granted a variance to use the building for a storage warehouse for offices and shops of the maintenance department of the Clevite plan at 540 East 105th Street. So, Madam Chair, this I think just shows us that there's a long history of industrial type uses here at the site. Thank you.
Yeah, starting from the 40s, is that what you said? Yeah, that was a nice little
Correct.
trip down the history.
Yes,
Thank you. Legal standard, please.
Madam Chair, members of the board, appellant is requesting a use variance from the requirements of the zoning code. To obtain the use variance, appellant must prove that denying the request will result in an unnecessary hardship particular to the property, such that there will be no economically feasible use of the property without the variance, will deprive the appellant of substantial property rights, and that granting the variance will not be contrary to the purpose and intent of the zoning code.
Thank you. Who will be the spokesperson for this case?
Leon Sampat, LS Architects.
All right, Mr. Sampat, go ahead.
So we are proposing an addition, approximately 5,000 square feet to the west side of the property. The building would be approximately 16 feet tall, metal siding. The use of this facility, basically the Evergreen Laundry, is expanding because they've got new contracts. This particular building will be utilized for shipping and receiving. So they have vans that will be delivering and picking up the laundry. They do anticipate approximately 10 new employees with this expansion. They operate from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. We did provide buffering based on zoning code. We provided the arborvitae along the west property line to the residential neighborhood. I don't know if anybody has any additional questions.
Yeah, this is essentially a use variance here. Mr. Sampat, can you just give a quick, probably just like 1 minute, just background on the laundry, on Evergreen Laundry, in case those are not informed about it?
They provide laundry services for facilities like the Cleveland Clinic. They cheap linens, and they have other. That's probably their major client, but that's their main business.
Madam Chair, may I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Just related to the laundry, what Mr. Sampat didn't mention, and I'd like to confirm, as the name implies, cooperative, they are an employee-owned company. Is that not still the case?
I believe so. That. Yeah. And they most of their employees. I can't hear. Can you hear now?
I can hear you.
Okay, thank you.
A lot of static.
Most of their employees are from the neighborhood.
Madam Chair, I have a question as well.
Is it regarding the operations? Because I kind of want to get through everything before, but go
Yeah.
ahead.
It is. If
Okay.
we could have the appellant please speak to the capacity or the volume of trucks that will be going in and out of the property.
They have, you know, from 7 to 7 is when their trucks will be coming in and out. They are closed after that. The volume of trucks, you know, they probably have 30 to 40 trucks a day.
Can I jump in here a second? It's Fred Drankin with Stein Contracting. We're the contractor on the project.
Oh, you weren't sworn in, Mr. Drankin. So
You didn't
Ms.
get me
Brown.
in?
Did anyone hear him swear in?
No.
Okay, go ahead and swear him in, please, Ms. Brown.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth? Raise your hand, say I do, state your name and your address, please.
I do. Fred Drankin, 514 Dover Center, Cleveland, Ohio, 44140.
Thank you. Go ahead, Mr. Drankin.
Okay. Yeah, we've worked with the laundry on a few different projects to answer some of the questions. The laundry is a cooperative employee-owned laundry. Their major client is the Cleveland Clinic. They focus on employing residents of the nearby neighborhood. Right now, I think they have approximately 25 employees. Like I said, they're probably going to add 10. Mostly right now, if you look at that picture that's up right now, and you see all those blue carts in the street corner in front of the building, those are all the laundry carts that come out of the dirty and clean laundry carts that come back and forth. Currently, they have no indoor storage for those carts as they come in and out. The space there that you're looking at behind that chain link fence is where the proposed addition is. It's just vacant, unused space right now that is part of this parcel, but the parcel does have a number of different zonings on it. With this one being that, you know, with the multifamily portion. As far as trucks, Leon's the architect on the project, so he's not quite familiar with their operation as I am. They will probably have about 8 trucks a day coming in and out of there. They are approximately 16 to 20 foot box trucks. Right now they come in on the corner on the other side of the building and unload in that parking lot. And that's where you see all those blue containers in that previous picture. The laundry is kind of a portion. They, from what I understand, they purchased this building in that yellow square a number of years ago. It's part of a kind of mixed industrial use, all that building to the left, the taller 2-3 story buildings back there. It was once part of that parcel. That I guess is my, you know, my history knowledge of what they're doing here.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Sampat, were you done with your presentation?
Yes, I was.
Okay, thank you.
Madam
Ms.
Chair?
Wilson? Oh,
I'm
sorry.
Sorry
Liz?
to interrupt. Yeah, thank you. So just for clarification, Mr. Stampit's comment about the number of trucks then is not correct. So it will not be 30 to 40 trucks a day. It's more like 8. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes.
And the hours again would be 7 a.m. to 7 p.m.?
Yes. And those are
Okay.
the hours they currently operate. They won't be changing any hours or anything.
Thank you very much. Just wanted the record to be clear. Thank you.
Okay, go ahead, Ms. Wilson.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. I represent Gary Lipinski at 540 East 105th, Glenville Enterprises. We are concerned about the construction of this warehouse because we have had issues with parking, the number of vehicles that have encroached on our property in the past, and this additional warehouse, we believe, is going to cause additional problems. We believe it's going to cause problems for providing other services, and that it is not something that meets the legal standard that is set out as a requirement for the zoning variance.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
can you ask Ms. Wilson to identify on this map the property that she is representing?
Yeah,
I
Ms.
don't
Wilson.
know that I can do that. I don't think my map is interactive, where I can point to
Well,
that.
can you just tell us left, right?
It's based on my understanding, it is the property to the left of the furthermost line. Okay, I see some, there we go.
Is that it right there?
Yes,
Okay. So it's this large building to
it's this
the
lo-
south, I
it's this
believe.
space right there, yes.
It's Fred Drinkin. Could I comment here and answer some of those questions?
Yes, please.
So a couple of things are happening here. As part of this addition, they're trying to move, like I said, where the blue containers are, like within this fence. If you look at the lower right-hand corner of that, the outline of the property. The trucks back in along the bottom edge, along East 105th Street, and unload in that parking lot. And they do enter into this kind of common parking area that's in front of the building. Right. By moving the shipping and receiving to the other side, it's going to eliminate the traffic through that parking lot, through that area. I think it actually helps separate their building and use from the neighbor's use. The other part of this is if you look opposite Elk Avenue, across Elk Avenue from this parcel, there's vacant land there. That is currently owned by the Cleveland Land Bank, and the owner is trying to purchase some of that property to use for parking, to expand their parking area. I can't say where they are with that or how that process works, but they are working to get that area over there. The one other thing I might say is that because they do employ a lot of employees from the neighborhood, and not every employee is driving to this facility. A lot of people are either walking or using public transportation to get there. So hopefully something like this would actually help any parking situation there by the time it's completed.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Wilson?
Thank you, Madam Chair, and I appreciate that clarification. However, again, all of that is at this point in time highly speculative about the property opposing Elk Avenue, and it does not serve to alleviate those concerns that that have currently existed and are ongoing, and we believe will be worsened by the granting of this variance. Something that may or may not happen in the future, I don't believe is grounds for altering that legal standard. Thank you.
Thank you. City Planning.
Madam Chair, Maurice Rowland, City Planning. I have to ask Ms. Wilson or Mr. Drenken. So will there be no trucks entering the laundry facility from East 105th and using that common entrance once the addition is completed?
That's a Mr. Franken question.
Yeah.
Franken.
Yes, that's my understanding of this, is that they intend to move all the shipping and receiving to the new addition. I don't know what all you have in the package there, but the idea of the design is there'd be two overhead doors, dock doors facing Elk Avenue, and the trucks would back in there. See where it's noted as the loading dock area. So everything would come in and out of there at this point.
Okay, so is
No,
there
it would
some kind of? Go ahead.
It would also, the ability to use that side, like keep pointing out, all these blue containers with the dirty and the clean laundry that are stacked up in that corner. It opens up that whole corner of the parking lot because all that operation is now on the other side.
Okay, so it would greatly reduce the truck traffic going, entering that common entrance and coming across.
Right. I
would that
would say
also
that the
then
owner
permit?
anticipates no truck traffic over there once this is completed.
Would that also then allow you to use, if you needed more employee parking, to actually park on your own lot in front of East 105th Street there, so they wouldn't need? Although the time when I was out there taking pictures, I will say that the common area was practically empty. It really wasn't. It wasn't crowded with cars.
Mm-hmm.
That's this lot over here. So this, as you could see where I'm putting my cursor, this area, if it's not being used for truck access, you could probably allow employees to park in this area if need be, correct?
Yes, and where those blue containers are, the same thing there. That opens up parking in there.
Right. So, Ms. Wilson, does that help to explain and ease your concerns, being that the truck traffic will be eliminated coming through the property that you represent, and there would be they would also be allowing their employees to park on their own parking lot? And I also have to ask: is there some kind of an easement or lease agreement or something that is allowing their employees and their trucks to go through your property in the first place?
Based on my understanding, it's just been a cooperative agreement of being good neighbors and trying to work with one another. However, there has been problems with excessive parking in the past. And if that would indeed be the case, it does alleviate some of the concerns. However, again, we believe that at this point in time, it's speculative. And we believe that it is going to change the character.
So you don't believe that they'll allow people to park on their own property once the addition is put in?
I believe that given where they're going to be having the staging area over off of Elk Avenue, you're going to have trucks coming in there. They go someplace else, that is going to obviate the parking that is available in front of their building, because those bins aren't just going to disappear.
Those bins, that's the purpose of the addition, is to get those bins inside. Particularly, they struggle with the clean laundry and having enough storage space for once they've taken this laundry, and there's bad weather, they run out of space inside the building. So all those bins would be inside the other portion of the building, is the intention of that. Both the dirty delivery and the clean laundry that goes out.
Madam Chair, this is Liz.
That's Liz.
Just as a point of clarification, could the attorney for Mr. Wilson give us her name again? I just would like to have it, if she can give me the spelling as well, just for the record. Thank you.
You mean the spelling of the owner?
No, her name. We keep calling her
She-
Ms. Wilson. I don't think her name is Wilson.
Yes, my name is Wilson. My name
It
is
is.
Shawn, SHAWN,
Okay, Marsha.
WILSON.
And then who is the owner you're representing then?
Glenville Enterprises, Gary Lipinski, LAPINSKY.
Okay. Thank you. My notes were twisted. I appreciate the time. Thank you, Madam Chair.
That is not a problem.
Madam Chair, I have a question to maybe Mr. Dretkan and City Planning. It looks like the curb cut to this property is through the Glenville Enterprise. Is there a curb cut off of Elk? Where the bins are, I can't really tell. The line is there.
Yeah, I don't believe so, Ms. Brown.
So
The upper,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
sorry, go ahead. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So you can see there by the chain link fence in the upper right-hand corner, that's the area of the proposed addition. And that's where the new
Right.
truck dock would be. So that's, that has been used in the past for storage. They
No,
did try to use some storage containers there for a period to try to help this problem.
no, sir, I understand that. I'm saying
then-
to get to
Sure,
your.
and then on the other side, if you look in the upper left-hand corner, there is one gate right about where that is. So there's a curb cut and entrance there. And then down the road further are a couple of additional entrances into that main parking lot of the neighboring property where at this point, the trucks pull in there because they don't, it's kind of where that white car is along 105th, that first car in the parking area within the yellow square. The gate is right next to that. So that for the trucks to pull in there, turn, and then back into this corner, there's not quite enough room that way right now. So they do pull in on the neighboring property, as Ms. Wilson stated, and use that driveway, get lined up so they can back that whole way up between those rows of parked cars up into that corner where they unload. Some of the deliveries, if you can see on the side of the building there above where the cursor is, there is an overhead door there. They take a few deliveries in and out of there, and that overhead door there kind of lines up with the additional curb cut. That's about the only time they use that entrance, because they can back straight to that door, but to go the other direction, they're unable to use that other entrance.
Okay. Thank you
So-
for that explanation.
So yeah, that was a very good question. So with the addition completed, could you use that same entrance then that really is not sufficient for the trucks? Could you use that for parking and potentially put a fence across your property over here where I'm pointing on the mouse, so you would be completely separated from the neighbors parking that they are apparently not happy with you parking your employees parking on their lot. So that would completely separate you from the property that Ms. Wilson represents, and then you'd be, contain your parking on your own lot, and the trucks would then be using the rear on Elk Avenue again, which would not affect the neighboring property owner.
I think that's a possibility, yes. I don't see why that wouldn't be possible. I would need to speak to the owner and make sure, because I'm not sure what agreements they have next door. It's my understanding that they bought this parcel from Ms. Wilson's client a number of years back, and I don't know what else. So I'd have to check with them, but I don't see why that wouldn't work with the planned operation with the addition. I think that's possible.
Yeah, Madam Chair, I think that would be the solution to this issue here.
Yes, because I think we belabored it long enough here. So I agree. I
So
think that's a,
whether it's a postponement and come back with a confirmation or, doing a motion
I
that
think
would
we
be
could just hold,
contingent.
yeah, I think yeah, if it passes, we would just hold ratification until we could get that kind of agreement.
Madam Chair, the friendly amendment I would make to that is to come up with a site plan that shows parking in the front of their
Oh.
lot as well.
Right.
Yeah, we would definitely have to add that in there.
I think we'd want to see it striped and stopper blocks put in. Excuse me. And not to push this out any longer, but the chain link fence on the Elk Avenue entrance, is the chain link planned to remain? Is that being removed? What are your plans there? And just quickly, how do you envision the trucks maneuvering in and out of that space?
The chain link fence would be removed, and there would, the intention is to put a kind of an aluminum picket fence to match the other elevations.
Excellent.
The
Okay.
Elk and 105th with an electric sliding gate. The trucks would, pull onto Elk Avenue and back into that spot off the street.
Great. Okay.
Elk Avenue.
Thank you, sir. Excuse me. If there are no further questions, Madam Chair, I'll go ahead with the motion.
Yes, please.
Okay. For calendar number 22-224, we've heard testimony from the neighbor voicing their concerns about the access and the use of their parking area. I think the representative for Evergreen Cooperative Laundry has stated their intent rather clearly for us in answering our questions. So should we approve this, we'll have some conditions, and that will be essentially an updated site plan that will reflect that the area now used where the blue bins are will be for employee parking. We'll want that striped and we'll want stopper blocks put in. And we would like to see the fence going across that perimeter that is adjacent to the neighbors. And as you've already stated, you're going to remove the chain link fence and install the decorative black fencing similar or the same as to what exists in the front of the building. And all that needs to be reflected on a new site plan. And with those things in place, I move that we go ahead and approve this variance.
Thank you. Can I have a second, please?
Member Brown, I second.
All right, go ahead, call the roll, please.
Ms. Roca,
Yes.
Ms. Holzer,
Yes.
Ms. Brown,
Yes.
Ms. Faith,
Yes.
Ms. Britt.
Yes.
Calendar number 22-224 has been granted conditionally. We will hold ratification until we receive that updated site plan. Once we receive that, we will ratify the case the following Monday and send the appellants a letter.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Good
you.
luck.
Okay, next case.
Our next case is calendar number 22-225. This is at 1857 Colonnade Road. Melissa Price proposes to establish use as daycare for 7 to 12 children in a B12 family residential district. The owner appeals for relief from the strict application of the Cleveland Codified Ordinances as stated in the agenda and the public record, of which there is one. And with that, I will hand it over to Ms. Brown for the oath.
I'm swearing in all who are present for this case. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth? Please raise your hand. Reply I do. State your name and your address, please.
I do. Melissa Price, 1857 Colonnade Road, Cleveland, Ohio, 44112.
Anyone else for this case? Madam Chair.
Thank you. History of the property, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. There's been no change in the zoning since 1929. In our Records Administration Office, we found that in 1914, a permit was issued to erect a dwelling on site. In 1917, a permit was issued to erect a garage. 1948, a permit was issued to demolish a private garage on the property and erect a new garage. And then in the more recent history, Madam Chair, we just see interior, exterior alterations, new electrical meters, new water closet, bathtubs, and sinks, and that was in 2013. In 2016, there was a permit issued for a furnace. And that's all that I have. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Legal standard, please.
Madam Chair, members of the board, appellant is requesting an area variance from the minimum distance requirement of the zoning code and approval to operate a daycare in a two-family residential district. To obtain the area variance, appellant must prove that denying the request will create practical difficulty not generally shared by other land or buildings in the same district, will deprive the appellant of substantial property rights, and that granting the variance will not be contrary to the purpose and intent of the zoning code. The board may approve a daycare use in a residential district if the board determines that there is adequate yard space and other safeguards to preserve the character of the neighborhood, that the use as a daycare is appropriately located and designed, and the use as a daycare will meet a community need without adversely affecting the neighborhood.
You. Okay, Ms. Price, tell us what you'd like to do.
Just increase capacity. We're not doing any alterations or any extra additions.
So is this already an existing daycare now?
Yes, it's a type B with a capacity of 6 children.
Okay, and can you just explain to us how your operations work now?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Can you just explain to us how your operations work now? Like pick up, drop off, hours of operation, that kind of thing.
We're open from 6 a.m. to midnight, Monday through Sunday. We do transportation for school-age children, but the parents typically drop them off and pick them up.
And is that done in front of the house?
In the driveway. We usually keep the driveway clear because we can fit about 3 cars comfortably without imposing on the backyard space.
And so your current expansion operation, I know you get up to 12, but are you trying to get to 12, or do you want to have a cap there?
Well, we have a cap at 6 right now per shift.
Right.
Well, it's in the facility at one time. So because a lot of our parents need the same time and we have 11 children enrolled, it's kind of hard to accommodate all of the families with limited capacity. So we really just want to service the families that we have. I'm open to more children, but at the moment it's just mainly to be able to assist the families that we have. They all tend to have the same shift.
Okay, and do you live in this unit currently?
Currently I do, but it's a multifamily, and I do take residents upstairs as well because I have children, and one private room isn't enough space. So we use both spaces. But with the addition, for additional space, with the type A, I'm able to completely move upstairs and use the extra space provided for private space for the daycare. So that's what I wanted to do as well. Take the private space out and use it for daycare space.
Then you would no longer live there. Is that?
No, I will
Is
live
that, is that
upstairs.
the plan? Oh, you live upstairs and the whole downstairs would be the
Okay,
daycare.
I'm sorry, you're going out again.
So you live upstairs and the whole downstairs would be the daycare.
Yes, correct.
Okay. Okay, city planning.
Madam Chair, Maurice Rowland, City Planning. Has there been any kind of, to Melissa, has there been any kind of public meeting or anything? Have you talked to your neighbors about the expansion going from, 6 to 12 children?
Yes, they all seem to be fine with it. I showed them the sign and told them if they had any questions or concerns to, follow the sign. But so far, my neighbors are on board. They're actually pretty excited. The place I bought was a rehab. It was like a total abandoned place when I got it in 2013. So I've repurposed it. And I don't know, I guess they're just excited because the neighborhood is actually packed with homeowners. It's occupied. Everyone's been there for 20 or 30 years. So they actually don't mind at all. They like the fact that the place is being kept together and used.
Okay.
Madam Chair, ma'am, how long have you been operating the daycare out of your home?
2 years.
Thank you.
Well, Madam Chair,
Chair.
we normally, we have a concern. Go ahead, Ms. Kukla.
Was that 10 years or 2 years? I'm sorry.
2 years.
2?
Yes.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, as you know, we generally do have concerns about, increasing the number of up to 12 in the middle of a residential neighborhood because it becomes more of a business than just when you cross that 5-person to 12-person threshold. There's more drop off and what have you. But if she has the support of the neighbors, we would not object to the variance.
Thank you. Any questions from the board?
Hearing none, I'll move ahead with the motion, Madam Chair.
Yeah.
All right. Ms. Price has been in operation in this current facility for 2 years as a type B. She stated that she's willing to just expand the capacity to more fully serve her clients. Hours of operation are 6 a.m. to 12 midnight, Monday through Sunday. I'm guessing that's 7 days a week. And she offers transportation for the school-age children, and drop-off is in the driveway. So with all those things being stated, she's going to use the entire main floor for childcare and use the residence upstairs for herself. So with all that being stated, I move that we go ahead and approve calendar number 22-225.
Thank you. Can I have a second, please?
Board Member Roca seconds.
Ms. Roca with the second. Go ahead, call the roll.
Excuse me. Ms. Holzer?
Yes.
Ms. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Roca?
Yes.
Ms. Faith?
Yes.
Ms. Britt?
Yes.
Calendar number 22-225 is granted. It'll be ratified when we meet again on January 23rd. After that, we will send the appellant a letter. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Good luck.
Yeah.
Okay, I believe we got one more.
I think this one was missing from my agenda.
Mine as well. I don't have it.
And mine as well.
Oh, I have it. That's probably because I got the next one. Okay.
I don't have it either.
Apologize, Madam Chair. I must have sent you an older version. I'd be happy to read it in if you'd like.
It's up to you, or I can read off the screen.
Yeah.
That's okay. I can do it. All right. We have calendar number 22-234. This is at 1822 West 25th Street. Selena Oais proposes to expand existing carryout pizza restaurant into neighboring storefront to include new bar and a sit-down dining area in a C3 local retail business district and a pedestrian retail overlay district. The owner appeals relief from the strict application of the Cleveland Codified Ordinances as stated in the agenda and the public record, of which there is one. And with that, I will hand it over to Ms. Brown for the oath.
I'm swearing in all who are present for this case. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth? Please raise your hand. Reply, I do. State your name and your address, please.
I do. Selena Iwas, 1822 West 25th Street.
Anyone else for this case?
Angela Iwas, 1822 West 25th Street.
Okay.
What was your first name?
Angelo.
Angelo. Okay, thanks.
Okay, Madam Chair.
Thank you. History of the property, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Property was originally zoned general retail in 1929. In 2011, it was changed to local retail business district. In our Records Administration Office, we found that a permit was issued in 1899 to erect a store and dwelling. 1896, a permit was issued for an addition to a tavern. And again, there was another addition in 1904. In the more recent history, Madam Chair, we just see interior, exterior alterations. One is for the, to establish. Oh, no, sorry. It was to establish a business known as Johnny Bat Custom Baseball Bats. Then I've seen yearly food service licenses issued in 2012 through 2018. And Madam Chair, I believe that's all that I have that's relevant. Thank you.
Thank you. Legal standard, please.
Madam Chair, members of the board, appellant is requesting an area variance from the parking requirements of the zoning code. To obtain the area variance, appellant must prove that denying the request will create a practical difficulty not generally shared by other land or buildings in the same district, will deprive the appellant of substantial property rights, and that granting the variance will not be contrary to the purpose and intent of the zoning code.
Thank you. Okay. Mr. or Mrs. Iwas, go ahead. Tell us what you'd like to do.
We just expanded our restaurant to give us a little bit more space so we can put a kitchen in, put some more storage because we don't have enough storage. And that's really about, do you think anything else?
Yeah, expand our restaurant.
Expand our restaurant just for seating and more office space and more for our kitchen.
Oh, the write-up says a bar. Are you gonna sell alcohol?
Yes, we are. We're gonna hope to do something and just accommodate our customers that like to eat pizzas and food with their beer, with their pizza. Yeah, with the pizzas.
Okay, and can you just tell me how much extra seating you're gonna have in the new expansion area?
The expansion area is probably be about another 5 tables.
Okay.
We've been part of the community. We've been there since we owned the building, probably for about 30, 40 years. We've been in the community. I was born and raised in the community of Ohio City. And I think a lot of people expanded down there too. So I don't know.
You're expanding the tables and you're adding a bar and expanding your kitchen. Those are goals for the new area.
Yes, in the office space and more storage because we don't have enough storage on the one side.
Yeah, currently we don't have enough for.
Okay. And what are your hours of operation on record now?
12 to 11.
And what days is that?
Monday,
Wednesday through Sunday.
Wednesday through Sunday.
We are closed on Mondays and Tuesdays.
Okay, thank you. All right, city planning.
Reese Rowland, City Planning, Madam Chair. So the vacant space that they're moving into, it would not be able to be reused for anything without having an additional parking requirement. So obviously we don't want this space to sit vacant. We're happy to see this business expand into the new area. There is on-street parking in front, and of course, as you know, there is a very large community parking lot behind, on the other side of the street, behind the buildings on the other side of the street. That has been purposely reconfigured to add a lot more parking to accommodate uses like this. So we fully support this project.
Great, thank you. Board, any questions?
Maurice, can you put up the aerial view?
Sure can. Whoops, wrong way, sorry.
That's okay.
Right, so at the bottom, right where my cursor is, behind these buildings over here is the district parking.
Right. I just wanted to get some context as to where this is, so we're good. All right.
It's right at like 25th and Bridge, kind of.
Yeah, yeah.
Madam Chair, this is Liz.
Go ahead, Liz.
There is an email that came in from Mr. Mark Musson. He stated he's a representative of the Block Club, Bridge Carroll J Block Club. Oh yeah, you have it there on the screen. I guess they were not able to get a full official Block Club meeting together, but they do have some comments. They were able to get some comments, I believe, through an email program. And here are the comments from neighbors. The one states that they support the request for variance parking. Another person also stated that they stated also that the owner has been a good member of the community for years and that they should not be hassled about parking. Another person stated that the city does nothing to limit parking for any other businesses. And it would be punitive to this business when there's certainly not enough parking for restaurants where cars and their occupants stay for longer periods of time. Another person stated they live on the block and assume they intend to take over the old law firm office and that it would be a great expansion and that they fully support the use. They think that it would be great for late night dining options if they were allowed to expand the use. And I believe that's it. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Well, we can't argue with that. Is there any further questions from the board?
All right, I'll
If not,
move
I'll entertain
forward.
a motion.
Given Mr. Ruland's statement, I think we're not going to hassle them about parking. We know that there's a lot of parking in that lot on the other side of the street. And it sounds like the neighbors are looking forward to enjoying some pizza and beer. So we have the hours of operation as being 12 noon to 11 p.m. Monday through Sunday, with the business being closed on Monday and Tuesday.
No, that's actually Wednesday through Sunday they're open. They're closed Monday and Tuesday.
I think those hours, can we restate the hours of operation as well, please?
Sure. I had 12 noon to 11 p.m. Wednesday
correct.
through Sunday, and closed Monday and Tuesday.
Yes.
So I may have misspoken myself when I said that the first time. So anyway, with that being said, I move that we go ahead and approve these variances.
Thank you. Can I have a second, please?
Board Member Holzer, I second.
Ms. Holzer with the second. Go ahead, call the roll.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Ms. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Roca?
Yes.
Ms. Holzer?
Yes.
Ms. Bates?
Yes.
Ms. Britt?
Yes.
Calendar number 22-234 is granted. It'll be ratified when we meet again on January 23rd, and after that, we will send the appellants a letter. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, good luck with everything.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Welcome. All right, old business 3 through 7 without objection.
Without objection.
Without objection.
Without objection.
No
All
objection.
right. Great. All right, looks like we're done. Thank you, and Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year. Good to see you.
Hope you feel better, Ms. Roga.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, I feel better.
Me too.
Yeah, go dive back into your bed and get some rest.
Bye, everyone.
Oh, Madam
Bye.
Chair, I do see
Bye-bye.
some other folks on here. If we could announce again those postponements. I can announce them really quick. Calendar number 22-226 regarding Hinckley Avenue. That has been postponed to February 13th. And calendar number 22-228 regarding Gifford Avenue, that has been postponed to February 6th. So if there's anybody, I do see a couple of names. Hopefully that helps them get on with their day. Thank you.
Quick question, Madam. Quick question. My agenda had calendar number 22-213 on it.
So did mine.
So did mine.
Okay, sorry, that was an internal conversation. We had to move that case.
Okay.
So notices did not go out for that, and neighbors were not notified. So we added that West 25th later, and but we did send out notice appropriately for that one, as you could tell from the Block Club comments. So I apologize for that error.
Okay.
Miss Kukla, we have no meeting next week, correct?
That's correct.
We will not have a forum next week.
Yes, we do not have a quorum. Yeah, thank you.
All righty.
Okay, thank you, everyone.
Okay.
Thanks, everybody.
Yep.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.